All right, Ivan. The first time I met you with Ashton and Trevor, right after the interview I had with Ashton, Trevor acknowledged the fact that you give back to the community. One of the things that I actually observed like the past 2 weeks. Talk to me about what came down to this mural right here with Black Lives Matter.
Just giving the community a sense of pride, something to give back to the community, something for them to feel a part of. Like I said, just giving them a sense of pride. This once again, this block, this little corner was notorious for gangs, drugs, so on and so forth. I think this gives them a sense of pride, a sense of being.
And this wasn't planned at all. This just came from the heart right away, right?
The heart. Yeah.
And as far as you, Trevor, what was your thoughts about doing this mural right here?
Ivan and I, we had actually had permission, or Ivan had permission to paint the wall probably almost half a year ago.
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and we had spoken to a couple of friends of mine that do murals, and at that time it was going to be Jackrabbit boxing. Because of the political climate and what was happening, especially with George Floyd, him and I were having a conversation on the phone one day, and what it was is we saw they had painted Black Lives Matter in the intersection in D.C., and he had sent me over that, and him and I we felt so proud.
Graffiti,
fuck 12, right?
Yeah.
We felt so proud when we saw that through the intersection in D.C., and we seen them do that, throughout America. And I don't know if it was him or I, but we said, what if we just painted Black Lives Matter outside there? And believe it or not, within 72 hours, I got a hold of a longtime friend named Tony, Art After Death. And, even this young man next to me, a fighter next to me, Nehemiah Williams, was a part of it. Ivan and I, and just a group of people, but we got it done
very quick.
in 72 hours. So, but it was from the heart because it's a sentiment that the gym, Ivan, myself, everybody that's involved in our gym, that we feel like this is something that needs to be seen by just folks that are just here driving down PCH. So
definitely.
That's the thing. Like all the areas that have been hit with looting, you'll have cardboards, right, that are boxed in with art, but you'll know that those cardboards are going to be left away later on.
Yeah.
But this in itself right here,
This is gonna be here
It's gonna be
forever.
forever. Yeah. It's beautiful too. I mean, every time I make a left on Lewis, and Ivan said the same thing to me yesterday too. To know that we had something that we left a mark on the community, especially here on PCH and Lewis. I mean, this is the rooftop where Snoop did his first video, I Am Snoop. And this is like the iconic intersection of Long Beach. It's PCH and MLK, PCH and Lewis. It's well known to the community. This is the heart side of the east side, the heart of the east side. And but it's just the beginning. I mean, Ivan has been so instrumental in the community as a whole, and especially for this area right here. There's unwritten rules, which is to keep the peace, to keep it as clean as possible, to try to keep the things out there that can derail youngsters in our community, specifically young men, to derail them, and to have them a safe haven where they can go to, which is Jackrabbit Boxing Academy, and have an expectation that when they come through these gates, or they come through, even this block, that they're safe, that they're going to be well looked after by him.
I remember a couple of years ago, I used to work as a counselor at a high school, and there was like a death of a kid who got stabbed, and they had a bunch of candle vigils and stuff like that. But then when the kids were coming to school, it sets the tone right away that, the police and then the stabbing and stuff like that happens around the community. And when I came here the day after the looting, I had Fuck 12 over here, and it kind of set the tone, right, as far as like what you're going to probably get into around this community. But this right here, if somebody makes a left over here or goes to the boxing gym, what's the type of message you want people to understand when they look at this?
Yeah, here I come in a little bit. Yeah.
As far as like the whole testament, as far as when you had the first matches of saying COVID, fuck 12.
See, that was something negative. And actually, we wanted to set the tone with something positive. Fuck 12 is Black Lives Matter. The way I look at it everybody looks at it a different way. People start taking it as racist thing. I don't know what they're thinking about, but I don't know about the movement. I don't know about who's behind Black Lives Matter, the movement or funding. I'm just rolling with the statement. It's a true statement. You know, Black Lives Matter, just as well as every other life matter. But at this point, we're putting the spotlight and trying to get people to recognize, not only people, the police to recognize that our lives matter too. So, like I said, this is more of a positive thing. Took off fuck 12, put up Black Lives Matters, and that's not to say that no other life matters. Like I said, I'm going with the statement. Black Lives Matter is a true statement, and we need to start, we, as well as everybody else, need to start acting like our lives matter. Our lives do matter, just as well as everybody else's life.
And how do you feel about being a part of something like that, Nemo, as far as like the whole declaration and being a part of this idea?
I'm actually really proud to be a part of something like this because, like David said, the sentiment of Black Lives Matter.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All of the youth, all of the people in this community, people who feel like they've been marginalized all their life. They have something more to live for, something more to look forward to. It doesn't just have to be, some pipe dream. They can be whatever they want to be. And I think when they come by and they see this in their neighborhood, they feel special. Like the kids, they will see this and they're gonna grow up and they're gonna hold this truth to themselves. And they can carry this message throughout their lives and share with their children so that they can too be something great in life.
One of the things that I do have to acknowledge is the fact that when I first saw this mural, there needs to be a context as far as why these colors of black, red, and green. Can you give us some context as far as why those colors?
You don't know why those colors?
No, this is not for me. This is not for me. I'm talking about the people who are viewing it, because it seems like a lot of people need to understand history from itself. And it's a whole, like this whole entire country feels like June 19 was just like an anniversary that just happened right now and we need to celebrate. But now it's like, it needs to be understood that there's a whole context of why these colors.
It is a whole context on why these colors. But more than just telling, I would like people to go and start researching themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So more than just saying, why we did these colors. I want people to look at this, research the colors, research the collaboration of the colors, and do their own research. You know what I'm saying? And I think they'll get a more of a feeling themselves if they do their own research.
It's a sense of pride too in the community. I mean, we've seen so many people that it's almost ritual at this point. People stop by and they're going to take photos of the mural. I mean, they know what the red, the black, and the green is about, and it's about a country that has turned their back on folks in Mexico. Because I think the honest question is to ask everybody, would America be here today if it didn't have slavery? And it wouldn't. I mean, black folks built DC. They built those buildings that you go and the White House and those streets, and the reason why America even became a superpower is because it had over 2 centuries of free indentured slavery, and labor. And I think that whether we're talking about a case for reparations or we're just talking about a settlement that's being expressed right now, which is Black Lives Matter, which is to say that folks are sick of the police brutality, they're sick of the systemic racism, they're sick of the 2 different Americas. So that I think, that was the intentions, and to know that all these things are going to change, that just like how we see that Confederate statues are being taken down right now throughout the South, I think that when this mural that's behind us is something that's been erected, is something that was painted, there's a rebalancing of the country right now, which is to say more things like this should show up throughout cities across America that are like Long Beach, or cities across America that are nothing like Long Beach, like the suburbs, maybe even in Orange County, because everyone needs to get on board with this. I mean, at this point, it's ridiculous, and you would think that 8 minutes and 46 seconds would absolutely be the stamp where everybody sees that this is the breaking point, where there's something wrong in America for that to happen. But this is a consciousness. It's a wave. I mean, that's the best way to describe it.
I think you, Ivan, in itself understand that this gym in itself is more than just a boxing gym, right? You understand that you have a bunch of Latinos and African American kids who are always collaborating with each other, not outside the street, but inside. Given the fact that this boxing gym is in Martin Luther King Street, one of the most well-known figures of this world, do you have share a huge responsibility given the fact where this gym is located at? Like this?
No, I think I just feel a huge responsibility myself, just me being who I am. This gym could be anywhere, I I just feel a huge responsibility to unite, all of our people, black, brown, yellow. I just feel that responsibility on myself, how I was raised, and the morals that's in me. This could have been on White Street. I still have the same responsibilities.
And
That's
how do
just
you?
who you are as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about like anyone is welcome. I mean, we have all kinds of folks that are here at the gym. I mean, we could have our own reality TV show. We really could. I mean, there's all kinds of characters,
All kind of personalities.
It's the first thing I said.
Even to be forthcoming, like we have a conversation about something that would have been probably could only be described as disrespectful to the president, which is to Donald Trump. And Ivan and I, had talked about it, and he made sense out of it, which is to say, hey, listen, I don't side with him as a president, but I don't necessarily think that I'm going to put something out there that would be disrespectful towards the president, because I would never want to push anybody away from my door. And not just that, he also explained to me that the opportunity that if someone even did side with the president, if they came through the door, that perhaps that could be a catalyst in their lives to see things differently. And that they could perhaps come over and say, hey, you know what, I can see what these folks are talking about with police brutality. I can see what they're talking about with Black Lives Matter. So he's created an environment. I mean, sometimes he'll get me on board because I'll be like, I'll be a little bit more, a little bit more hyper-reactive maybe. But he's creating an environment that's good for everybody in the community. That's good for everybody, and that's whether you're from Signal Hill, or you're from Lakewood, or whether you're white, or you're black, or you're brown, or you're Cambodian. I mean, we want this to be a safe haven, and we want this to be a reflection of America that we would like to see happen. And really, him and I are both in the business of making better men. I mean, and that's not to say that we just don't have a lot of young women that are coming into the boxing gym to learn how to box.
Right.
If they were coming through the door, we'd be making
Open
the same thing, better younger women. But we're out there, we're trying to make a difference when it counts, and that's young men in their formative years between 10 to 15, and by then, he's got his hand around their neck, or I've got my hand around their neck, or one of us is raising our voice, but we're trying to get them in line. So
Being a part of in the shoulders of these two, how do you feel about that? As far as like, you come here just to box, but you start to understand that it's just more than just boxing. Being with these two individuals.
Just seeing how they work with the kids and how they're like father figures in the gym, especially to a lot of young men who come from homes who don't necessarily have that. And you see them, sort of, giving love, tough love, whatever love you call it, but they're there to guide you, protect you, take care of you, teach you how to box, but main thing, teach you how to be a better man in life. I think that's very important to really take away from you.
Any last message, Ivan, Trevor, anyone?
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
It's a good pleasure.
Leave out here that has everything to do with a whole bunch of things, which is to say, it's not just politics. You can come here, you become a smarter person. You can come here, you can become a national champion. We're going to create world champions in the future.
Well, I'm noticing that.
You mark my words about it. Everyone will know what this gym is as far as in the boxing world 3 to 5 years from now. So, if not now. So.
I haven't asked those questions yet.
Come through.
I'm just watching. All right, then. Thank you.
All right.